Alright, we are going to look at if a piece of paper, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper folded the long ways or short ways has more volume. You would think that because it's the same size paper that it should have the same volume. So we're going to check using our knowledge now of finding volume of a cylinder. So the first thing we look at is that the height is 11 and that the circumference then would be 8.5 inches because that's the way we folded it. So let's look. First we've got to work backwards. If we know that the circumference equals pi times diameter, we know what the circumference is. So we work backwards. 8.5 inches equals pi times diameter. Well, let's get diameter by itself, so we're going to divide by pi. We're going to divide by pi. If we divide both sides by pi, we get 2.71 equals my diameter. Well, remember, we don't want the diameter, we want the radius, so we're going to cut this in half. So we're going to take 2.71 divided by 2, and we get 1.35 equals my radius. Now that we have our radius, we can find the area of the circle at the top. Because we know that volume always equals big base of any cylinder or prism. Find the area of the big base, which is this area right here, and times it by the height. Okay, so let's find it. Volume equals, well, the base is a circle, so circles are always pi times radius squared times the height of the cylinder. Well, let's fill in what we know. Volume equals pi. Well, we just found the radius right here. The radius is 1.35 squared times the height, which is 11. All right, let's do a little math now. Volume equals 5.73 times 11. How did I get 5.73? I took 1.35, squared it, and then times it by pi. We get 5.73 times 11, so the volume of the paper folded long ways is 62.98 inches cubed. Okay? Let's remember that. So now we're going to go to the next one, folded the short way, where 11 is now the circumference and 8.5 is now the height. So again, we're working backwards. Circumference equals pi times diameter. So 11 equals pi times diameter. Pi there. Divide by pi on both sides. And we get 3.5 equals the diameter. Now again, we don't want the diameter, we want the radius, so we cut that by 2 and we get 1.75 equals the radius. Now I'm saving all this on the calculator, I'm just rounding it when I show my work here. So now that we know that 1.75 is the radius, now we can find the volume. The volume again is big base times the height. Again, big base is my circle at the top, find the area of that, and times it by the height. Volume equals, again, circle is pi times radius squared, that's the area of a circle, times the big height. Well, we just found the radius, so now we can figure this out. Volume equals pi times 1.75 squared. Where did I get 1.75? That's the radius. So we put that in for the radius, and then we're going to times it by the height, and this time our height is 8.5 inches, because that is the way we folded it this time, the short way. All right, do a little math. We get volume equals 9.63, that's 1.75 squared, times pi, gives me 9.63. We're going to times that by the height, which is 8.5. And my volume of the paper folded the short way is 81.85. Clearly, inches cubed, clearly this is much bigger than the paper folded long way. Interesting stuff. Thank you.